All right. Hello, everyone. This is some bonus footage for the week. Tune into our podcast that's going to be out on Apple, Spotify, and SoundCloud. This week we got into some of the stuff going on with U.S. and North Korea. We talked about the second whistleblower that came out. We did the Canadian Minute, the viewer question, and then we wrapped it up with some good old presidential talk. There was a lot of stuff going on with both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats. So good stuff there. Tune into that podcast to hear about it. But we got a little bonus footage for you this week. Mommer, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, we just wanted to post a little bonus video. We actually do talk about it sometimes on our podcast, but just this week kind of pushed us over the edge when they attacked Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
The media marginalization amidst outsider candidates, mainly in the Democratic primaries. So if you didn't see it, it actually got a decent amount of news coverage, at least on Twitter.
Yeah.
Andrew Yang, for the end of last month or whatever, by the end of last month or for the quarter, basically announced that he raised over $10 million in his campaign. And it was MSNBC or CNN? One of the two.
Both of them, actually.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of the main left-wing media outlets posted a graphic of basically what the main candidates had raised in their campaign, and Cory Booker was on there with $6 million as the fifth, I think.
Yeah.
And Yang was not with, I think, it was 10.75 million or something.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like what made us want to give a little bonus video, because we've already talked about how the media marginalizes Tulsi, how they kind of marginalize Bernie because they're anti-establishment. So doing this week with Yang definitely made us want to bring it up and give our opinion on it. So
Sent us over the edge.
yes, as they would say. So what do you have on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous at this point, and it honestly gets old. I mean, we brought up in an earlier podcast, if you listen, you heard about how CNN left Andrew Yang's polling data out of basically a story they ran on the top presidential candidates. So at the time, he was polling right around what he is now, between fourth and fifth amongst all the candidates, and they included the top 6 candidates, and Andrew Yang wasn't in there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the similar thing here. You're showing fundraising, which, you might argue, oh, how important is it that people see that? It is important because
important.
It shows the momentum that candidate has.
Yeah.
It's been a big thing for Bernie because he's consistently number one in fundraising.
Yeah.
He's, the grassroots candidate. He pulls in a lot of money from individual donors. And, Warren's always up there. Biden's usually third or fourth. And yeah, so like you said, this week, Yang raised $4 million more than Cory Booker, but they decided to include Cory Booker on there because what I'm guessing is that's what they perceive as a serious candidate.
Yeah.
Or yes, he's an establishment candidate. So yeah, it's honestly getting kind of old how they cover that stuff, and all the networks, the mainstream networks, are guilty of it. And it just, you hate to see it because you got these candidates like Yang who pose interesting ideas that people should think about and kind of pick people's brains about.
Should be.
And they just
seen.
Yeah, they just disregard them as a candidate.
Yeah.
And it's not, there's a reason why he's pulling in that much money and pulling it what he is, because he's got a good following.
Yeah.
And he's gaining momentum. So
yeah, that's what I found funny actually about the whole thing is that we have talked about how a lot of people like the outsider candidate, mainly for the reason that they're transparent sometimes, but like they're anti-establishment, and a lot of people see that as what will lead to more change than someone who's a part of the establishment that's just following orders or following a line. And I find it funny that people like this and the media is just so agenda pushed that they don't even care to include them. It's like, people watching will watch more if you actually include the people that the people want to see, and a lot of people want to see these candidates. So I just don't understand what the media's intentions are and how far they want to push their agenda, and I don't know.
Yeah, and if you look at the Yangs, the Tulsis, the Bernies, those are the people that are going to pull in votes that Trump stole.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, Trump took a lot of voters that voted Obama previously because he was an outsider candidate that, you know, wasn't going to bring that same establishment agenda. And, you know, it hit home with a lot of people, and he brought up some things that people were able to relate to.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with, you know, a Yang, where you've got, you know, he's talking about universal basic income and how automation is driving a lot of jobs out. That's hitting home with a lot of people because people are affected by that.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Tulsi with obviously all of her foreign policy, and if you're a logical person, it makes sense. And so, yeah, it's kind of sad to see that the media tries to push them out, because honestly, those are the candidates that, if they had good support from the media, and
could rise.
Yes, could rise, and those are the type of candidates that are going to win. And you've seen this when those candidates, you know, get that positive coverage of them. So yeah, it's frustrating, but you can't expect much change. You know, they are the establishment.
Exactly.
You know, they work hand in hand with them. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into that bonus coverage. Like I said, go watch or listen, to our podcast. It's about 40 minutes this week.
Yep.
Got a lot of good stuff on there. Well, we won't have clips coming out of the videos this week, but they will be out like normal in the following weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this little bonus, though.
Yes.
Take it easy. I'm
Thank you.
Easton Roadhouse.
I'm Michael Malmersteig. Peace out, gallery.